Welcome into a Husker Women's Wednesday. I'm Jessica Coody, and hey, the Nebraska women's basketball team off to a fantastic start this season, 11-0, ranked in the top 25, very high in the net ranking. And so thought it'd be fun to have Logan Nissley in studio. I just chatted with her, but it was so good after the game. I'm like, we got to have a longer conversation, other than just a post-game interview. But thank you so much for being here.
Yes, thanks for having me. Love doing these with you.
Well, it's a crazy week, finals week. How are all the tests going? You acing all of them?
I'm hoping so. I've only taken 2 so far during dead week. I have a couple more this week and then a couple projects, and then I should be done. So hopefully get them all done before our prep starts for Cal Baptist.
What is it like at this, I guess especially here at Nebraska, we hear a lot about, the Dennis LeBlanc and his team, but how helpful is that to help you navigate during this time when you're playing, you're off to a great start, you guys are really good, and then also, hey, we gotta take care of business in the classroom too.
Yeah, I think just the support staff we have academically, and then our coaches are big on it too, and just so getting your work done in the classroom. Obviously yesterday we had an off day, and so they really told us, like, get your work done in the classroom, study for your finals, all of that. But I think it's just a pride thing for all of us girls to do good in the classroom. Obviously, student comes before athlete in the word student athlete. And so we try and take that literally and put a lot of work into the classroom. But again, it makes it so much easier when we have everybody at our disposal. We have, tutors, we have advisors, we have everybody. And so we're very lucky in that aspect.
Well, let's talk about the start for the Husker women's basketball team. What do you feel like has been the most important aspect to what this team has done to get off to the kind of start you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, every year that I've been here, we've talked about how our depth is our strength. And I just think this year it is like on another level. I mean, I think we have multiple people, like 5 in almost every game that we've played in double figures. We have people fighting for the leading rebounder. We have like Callan's averaging 5 assists. I think it's just so incredible that like you can't pick a person to stop because we have so many more coming off the bench. We average so many bench points a game. I think we just work really well together and we just have a lot of fun doing that. And so I think that really shows. And I remember last time we talked, I said our passion speaks for itself, but I think that's the truth of this team is we just have so much passion for the game and passion for each other. And so using that and then having multiple weapons that can go off any night really helps that.
Oh, that's awesome. So great to hear. Okay, so you mentioned the rebounding. People are fighting to be the rebounding. I heard about this recently. Tell us about that. What is, there's like a prize, right?
Yeah. There's this like gold chain that coaches had. We've had this board man gets paid, so BMGP, and we've kind of had that. It started a little bit last year, sprinkled it in a little bit, but this year it's been a thing every game. So the leading rebounder of the game gets this gold chain and they get to take a picture of it. And so it's kind of like a pride thing of like you get the chain and you get to keep it until the next game. And so people have been kind of fighting for that chain.
Who's won it the most? I guess I should know that.
Stats. I think since we have had like the actual chain itself, it's been a different person each time.
Wow.
So it started off with Peach, then it went to me, and then Britt, Petra, and Amaya.
How when you I feel like that was a big conversation right going into it. You lose Alexis Markowski, one of the best rebounders in program history.
Yes.
It's kind of a way to challenge, right? Hey, it's going to take everybody to fill what she did the last 4 years.
Yes. I think that's something that we've talked about with our injuries, with like people going down, people being out for games, is one person is not going to replace Lex or replace Nat or replace Al. And so like just buying into the fact that all 5 of us on the floor and then everybody else on the bench and practice, all of that, they're going to have to buy in and we're going to do it together. And I think that's been something that as a rebounding group, we're out rebounding teams, and we're playing Virginia. We played the #1 rebounding team in the country and we out rebounded them. And it's a group effort. Obviously, we're not going to have Lex in there in the middle, but we have bigs that will go get us rebounds. And then as guards, I think rebounding down has been something that we've been working on and we're trying to pride ourselves on.
So I wanted to go back to what you had talked about, just the passion and love for each other, because I feel like a lot of teams can say that, but it feels different with this group, and it really has been since I've gotten to know the program. And so I feel like that's something that's probably been established for quite some time. But take us inside of that. Why is it so different with this team and this women's basketball program?
Yeah, I mean, I know when I was being recruited here, culture was a big part of their message to me. And ever since I've been here, that has been something that we drill into every recruit that we have. When we are recruiting, that's what we talk about, is like our culture is the selling point. And just like we hang out with each other every day outside of practice. I mean, we see each other 7 days a week, like all year round. And so just being able, sometimes you would say like, oh, spending that much time with each other, you're going to get sick of each other. But we just have so much fun and we do different things all the time. And so just really leaning into our outside of basketball relationships, I think that helps us on the court.
So who takes on that, hey, planning of what we're going to do outside of basketball?
I think there's a lot of us. So our sophomores, Britt, Petra, Amaya, Kennedy, they all live in a house. And so that's where like our spot is, that like we'll go hang out with everybody. But I think it's kind of a group effort. If someone wants to watch the volleyball game or watch the football game or something like that, and we don't necessarily like want to go eat and do it, we'll just go to someone's house. And it really isn't like, it's not like, oh, I have to go hang out with my team. It's like, let's just go. Like, we don't even have to talk to each other. Like, we'll just be in the same area, and yeah, it's great.
I think that's also why it works so well. Is it's not like it's coaches encouraging you guys. You guys just naturally, you do it without being told to do it, and it's something that is taken on, and then you guys just continue it, right?
Yeah, yep. We've talked a lot about being player led as a whole, and so I think when we can take that outside of the court, that's what's making our relationships on the court so special.
Okay, so you've been here. This is your third season. Hard to believe already. We have seen what you can do, obviously, but what was your approach? What were some of the things that you wanted to improve on and contribute this year in your third season?
Yeah, I think my biggest thing is I just want to grow, and whatever aspect that may be, whether that's offensively, defensively, whether that's off the court leadership-wise, I just really wanted to make sure that like I was leaving an impact. Like you said, can't believe that it's my third year already. It's going by so fast. But just like really soaking it all in. I mean, this opportunity isn't given to everybody, but it's also not going to last forever. And so just thinking about that, obviously like I'm roommates and like Cal's one of my best friends, and this being her last year has made me kind of realize, oh my gosh, it doesn't last forever. And so just being able to soak in all of it and just kind of take it one day at a time, I think has made my approach this year really great. Obviously there's been ups, downs, whatever. And so that's kind of helped me through those.
We talked about this the last time you were here, but the injury situation has not been easy for you to battle through, and you even had some even earlier on in the season. For fans that don't know your story, I mean, you have to fight really hard to be out there. Why does that continue to be something that you want to battle through? You know, I mean,
Yeah.
when it's not easy at times.
Yeah, I mean, basketball has been probably one of the biggest parts of my life ever since I was little. And so just the love for the game has been like my motivation up until college. But then once I got here, it was just being able to fight for, you know, Allison and Nat, who don't get the opportunity. If they got the opportunity to fight through pain, I know they would, and I know they would give everything. And so just being able to do it for them, but also just like, I don't want to miss a game with Cal. Like I want to spend every moment I can on the court with Cal. Our seniors this year, I mean, we just have such a good group that it's worth fighting for. And I think like there's just no other place that I'd rather be. And so putting myself in a position that it's like, okay, well, I might have to do more recovery and treatment than others, but it's worth it. And I just think fighting for my teammates and my coaching staff and just everybody that pours so much time and effort into me as a person and me as an athlete, I think is my motivation now.
That's awesome. You know, I think you've brought up a couple of different things that I think would be an important message for other folks to hear, whether you're a fan of this program or even a young athlete. But the fact that this team is so good about embracing whatever is needed from them at any given moment. It's a team full of that. Whoever has a hot hand, whoever needs to be the leading scorer, whoever needs to be the leading rebounder, it's you embrace that. As an athlete individually, how do you prepare yourself for night in and night out, knowing and understanding what your role might be any given night?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We've talked about this kind of we have team book studies, our coaches have talked about it, but we were all our best number one option in high school. And so just being able to come here knowing, okay, that might not be my role. It might be, but it also might not. And just being able we have a team first mentality. And coach talked about it after our last game of like, we have such a good thing going, and selfishness, one easy blow of selfishness could knock that over. And so just being able to like keep that unselfishness going of like, yeah, I might not be shooting my best, I might not be playing my best, but if my teammates are, I'm going to celebrate that. And we also talk about like, if something's not going well for me, how can I find a way to make something go good or like pour into someone else? Because that's what the team needs. And it's not all about me, it's about us. And I think we do a good job of that right now.
Does that go back to like, I genuinely care about the people around me so that I can move past when it's not my night?
Yeah, I think so. And I think like our relationships off the court, one-on-one, we do sister dates still, and just creating and making those relationships stronger, I think makes it easier to have those accountable conversations of like, hey, I know things aren't going well right now. What can you do for someone else? And just those type of things, the relationships make it easier.
Tell us about sister dates.
They're awesome. They're so fun. I actually did one this morning.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, it's just like a one-on-one sister day with one of your teammates. Our coaches kind of send out a list of who's with who. And it's just time for like intentionality and really going out of our way to like, what's going on in your life? We spend so much time together on the basketball court and in the practice facility that like sometimes we get caught up in that. And so just being able outside of basketball, outside of school, to just catch up with one of your teammates and be like, what's going on in your life? I think it's super fun just because you might not hang out one-on-one with that person like any other day, but just to be able to like have that conversation and, like I said, strengthening those relationships to where like on the court, I trust you and you trust me.
No, that's awesome. Really cool. So you also had a good perspective the other day about Britt Prince, and I think obviously she's a superstar, right? And people love following her career. But you brought up how humble she is, and just that it's not about her. For fans that might not have heard your take on that, what is she like to play with? Because I mean, I feel like people might not fully understand when you're in the locker room with her, because she is such an outstanding player, but then you would never know that she's what she is, right?
Yeah. I mean, she is just an amazing human being, and I think that stands out above the basketball stuff, which is hard to do. But she's so funny and just like doesn't even try sometimes to be funny. And so that part of it is so easy to just be with her and get along with her and all of that. But she is a team first player. And so we always say, like, if Britt is being selfish, it's when she's not taking the shots that we need her to take. And so we just try and drill the confidence into her. And yeah, she's very humble. She doesn't want to be the one that's like, hey, like, we're running this play for me. She would never, ever say that, but we will for her because we want her to succeed. And we know that in order for us to win, she needs to succeed. And we want to help her in doing that. But also it doesn't just come from scoring. She is an elite passer. She knows the game of basketball so well, and she just makes everyone around her better.
It seems like that was a process for her too of, hey, sometimes I need to do more. You know, I need to take over a little bit more. And you guys recognize that. I think it is another really telling sign of this program is that she didn't want to do that all the time. No. She wasn't comfortable with that, but you guys made her comfortable in that, or tried to make her feel comfortable in that.
Yeah, and I think that stems a lot in practice. We always talk about, like, Britt, if they're going to go under you on a screen, make them pay for that. Like, I understand that flirt screen could have been open, but you were open first on that ball screen. And so just being able for her, like, she knows, like I said, the game of basketball, and so just making those reads and, like, it's okay that she's the number one option. Like, we need her to think score, and we need her. And we trust and we know that, like, if they take her away, she's going to find the open person.
Do you feel like that's the biggest difference in her between freshman and sophomore years, just maybe understanding what her job is and being okay in that job?
Yeah, I think so. And I think just like really leaning into her like knowledge. I think last year she just kind of, went out and scored, and she was new, so people didn't really know the Britt Prince that we had. And I think this year teams have scouted her, and that's what happens in college basketball is you get scouted and teams start trying to take things away. But I think she's just really leaned into like taking what the defense gives her and like knowing her capabilities and just like really playing off of that. And whether that's needing 5 assists a game or 6 rebounds or whatever that may be, I think she's really leaned into that.
In your career here, have you felt a responsibility when teams start to take your teammates out of it? Let me just show you why you shouldn't do that.
I mean, it's so fun because we're a scout-driven team. And so we know teams' tendencies. And so just trying to find those windows of like, okay, you knew the scout, but you messed up here. And so we're going to make you pay for that. And just like I said, our depth. You can scout for Britt, you can scout for our bigs, you can scout for whatever, but there's no way that you're going to be able to take 12 people away from us.
Yeah.
Like, that's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
And so I think all of us lean into that. And when it's our night, it's our night. But when it's not our night, we're still going to have a lot of fun doing it.
We had Amy Williams on the show recently, and she was telling us that the scout part of it is really, really great with the coaching staff, but it's also really good with the bench mob. With
Yes.
with,
Yes.
with what you guys do with that. Take us inside of that and how the bench is prepared for whatever might be called for any given celebration.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely have our favorites. And so, I mean, a lot of it is the 3-pointers. And so we'll shoot a lot of threes. So hopefully we get a lot of celebrations out of that. But Allison and Nat have just found such a good way to be involved and be a part of like our group, whether they're in practice, on the bench, whatever. And because they're not able to be on the court playing with us right now, like their part of it is such an important part for us still. And like being on the bench, sometimes it's more fun to do the celebration than hit the shot. And like that has been such a culture builder for us. And I think it shows. I mean, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter, it's all over. But yeah, and I think Nat went to an elementary school for volunteering the other day, and he was trying to give her different ideas for new celebrations. So we have some new ones in our back pocket.
Okay, so did you practice, or they just show you what we're gonna do, and then when you're on the bench, hey, they're gonna call it a celebration?
Yeah, well, the ones that we didn't necessarily know right away, we had to practice a little bit, just so we didn't look so unorthodox. And we're supposed to be athletes, and so we're supposed to look athletic. But yes, we're supposed to be in sync. And so we practice them. We're like, okay, right arm here, left leg here. But yeah, and then now we just know them. And so they'll call out like sprinkler or karate or just one word basically. And it's like the next 3-point, we all know it.
And then you just have to prepare when they add the new
Yes,
wrinkles.
and it's almost like the game of telephone. Like it starts with Nat and Allison down the bench, and it's like karate, and you just try and pass it to the next person and hope that it goes well.
Is it before or when the shot's going up, or is it like, hey, the next 3, this is what we're doing?
The next 3. So after we do the celebration, they'll be like, okay, next 3 is this. And so like you'll kind of see us when the shot goes up, we all stand up like we're about to celebrate. And if it doesn't go in, we all sit back down. And then if it goes in, then we celebrate.
And then as soon as it goes down, the next one is like, hey, stinky leg next time.
Exactly. Yes. Yep. Exactly. And then sometimes we have a couple for like free throws of like waterfall or that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah. And then if somebody checks in or out, you got to make sure and communicate that.
Exactly.
The communication happens all around.
Yeah. Exactly. It's our vitamin C.
Oh wow. That's great. That's great perspective. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you because we were talking before the interview. You have maybe leaned towards wanting to do speech pathology.
Yeah.
Why the interest there?
I mean, my mom always, when I was younger, was like, I think you should really look into speech. And I just had no idea what I wanted to do. From in high school until I got here, I was an exploratory. I just didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I loved helping people. And I loved working with like kids with disabilities and just people that had a hard time. But I didn't necessarily want to go into like special education. And so with speech, you can kind of work with geriatrics, you can work with peds, you can work with traumatic brain injuries, like all of that kind of stuff. And so that part really sparked me. And just the fact that like you can kind of work in multiple different areas, like you can be in a hospital, you can be in private practice, you can work in a school. And so just the flexibility with that, I think, has been something that sparked my interest.
Oh, that's incredible. So have you enjoyed the classes once you started taking them?
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely new for me. I am a child, youth, and family studies major, and so a lot of like the children's stuff I was familiar with, but just like the brain and how important the brain is with your speech and all of that stuff has been new for me, so it's been exciting to learn about.
Wow. Okay, well, one more non-conference game, and then it is full speed ahead into Big Ten conference play. Crazy that that's already here.
Yeah.
But what do you feel like this team needs to continue to work on, improve upon, to get better at over these next couple of weeks? Because you got some extended time with the game in between.
Yep.
To be ready to go and feel really confident with when you guys take the floor for Big Ten play.
Yeah, I mean, I just think getting on the same page, both offensively and defensively. Like we talked about, scout is a big part of that. And so just being able to know our personnel. And like if I'm closing out to a non-shooter, I don't have to fly by. Like just being able to kind of read that and know what they're trying to do and take that away, I think is huge in Big Ten, just because everybody's a Big Ten caliber athlete. And so you're not always going to out-jump them. You're not always going to outrun them, all of that. And so just being able to know tendencies, I think. And on offense, I think when we're on the same page and we play with pace, we're really hard to guard. And so just being able to play with that and not get stagnant, not sometimes we don't always echo plays, and so not everybody's on the same page. So just cleaning up a little bit of the little things I think will be good for us.
Do you like watching film?
I love it.
Really? Are you a film junkie?
Scout is so good for me because I'm not the most athletic. I'm not going to out-jump you. I'm not going to outspeed you. But if I know that you're trying to go left, I'm going to jump your left hand, and then it's even from there.
Was it something you always enjoyed, or did you have to learn it once you got here?
No, I loved it. In high school, I loved it. It was funny. My teammates would make fun of me in classes. Don't tell Maze this, but I would watch film in class because I'm like, I don't really want to be studying math right now. I'm just going to watch film. And it was funny because in high school, that's all I did. And so it was just that kind of carried over. And I realized once I got here that that's kind of how the coaching staff were here. And so we joke about it. Maze calls me the question queen. And so I just want to make sure, like, hey, if we're running this play, am I supposed to be here or is my read this? And it's like, coach will be like, that's a great question, Logan. And Maze will just roll her eyes because I just want to know the answers. I want to be fully prepared. And that's when I'm at my best, is when I'm fully prepared.
It's funny. I've talked to Amy about this a few times throughout the course of doing her show, and every assistant coach does their scout differently.
Yes.
I feel like you and Jessica Keller are on the same wavelength. Like, she does all of that, right?
In depth. Like, it's funny. We always joke, like, if we didn't know whose scout it was, we would be able to tell based on the scout that they give us. Yeah. Maze is always a song and a dance and a fun, and Keller's is always like 8 pages long. And
which is up your alley, it
exactly.
sounds like.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, great stuff. If speech pathology doesn't work out, I think broadcasting could also be in the future, too.
Yes. Well, we'll have to see about that. I get a little camera shy sometimes.
Not true. Well, thank you so much. Best of luck.
Thank you.
As I said last time, always enjoy chatting with you.
Yes.
And congratulations on a great start. Let's keep it rolling.
Thank you. Yes, we will.
Logan Nissley here with us on our Husker Women's Wednesday podcast. Emeritus is proud to power this podcast and all of Husker Women's sports. Thanks for listening and watching. And as always, make sure you subscribe and like wherever you listen to never miss an episode right here on the Huskers Radio Network podcast.